Inside the Drag Closet with Jade. Join Jade, DeVere, and her fabulous team of guests as they discuss all things drag, from wigs to makeup to performances and everything in between.
Join us at WLFE-DV.com for upcoming shows and more.
Well, hello there, kids. Welcome to Inside the Drag Closet, the show where we talk about all things drag and some things that aren't. Who knows? We're really just here to have a good time. I'm so glad you're all joining us here this evening on WLFE-DB Radio. We have a fun show planned for you this evening. We have the fabulous Miss Asia Monroe is joining us all the way from Philly. We have got the fabulous KIKI DONDIVA Ninja. I believe she's in Allentown right now. We were gossiping earlier and I forgot to ask, so we'll have to ask her when she comes up. And our Woo Girl of the Week is a boy. Oh, yes, we have the fabulous Don Davis all the way from the Philadelphia area. And of course, I will be joined with my co-host. I've had a lot of soda today. It's been a really weird day. With my fabulous co-host, Skarlet Overkill. But I have to ask a little who, what, where. Who am I? I am Jade DeVere. I use feminine pronouns when in drag, but I do use masculine pronouns when I'm not in drag. I am the host of Inside the Drag Closet here on WLFE. What am I wearing? Well, I have to give a huge shout out to this hair. Now, this hair comes to us from, let me pull it up, Wigs by Tiff. I found Wigs by Tiff on Instagram and instantly fell in love with her work. Her wigs are amazing. She does a lot of different styles. Her and I chatted a little bit. I was like, I need something with purples, but orange is one of my favorite colors. And she whipped this together for me. I absolutely adore this wig. I'm wearing a fantastic new outfit from Coquettery Clothing. I have their site here too. Yay, technology where I have to press a lot of buttons. Coquettery Clothing, right down there. Check them out. This is actually a custom piece I had done. Don't worry, there are not holes in it. If you couldn't tell, I'm on a green screen. The outfit was originally black and green, but I wanted it a little more bright, a little more summery, a little more fun. So I went with orange, and this is called Spectrum, and I love it. And of course, I'm wearing a lovely jewelry set by Rocks by Cox. You can find all of these people out there on the internet and on Facebook. Now, one thing I wanted to talk about this week, before we get to any of our guests, we do talk about it a lot on this show, and that is mental health. I had a fabulous day. I actually got to talk to my therapist today. You know, it's been a very rough time for a lot of people. We don't get to go out as much as we used to. We do have to stay at home. And as a performer, I have not performed in about 6 months, aside from, you know, online events. You might have seen me in The Importance of Being Earnest last week through the Zenith Players and the Social Distancing Players. It was a fun experience, but I do miss being around other people. So today I actually chatted with my therapist. If you are going through anything, you can contact her at AndreaJonesCounseling.com. Drea is an amazing therapist. She has been in the business for, I believe, over 8 years now. She is also a couples counselor, and she specializes in handling LGBT issues. So if you have anything you're going through, contact Drea. She is incredible. She actually gave me some great recommendations on how to brighten my outlook. Long story short, I'm going to be taking some CBD oil and things to just help me brighten my day a little bit and feel a little better about myself. So we're going to keep this show moving right along, though, because you're not here to just listen to me talk on and on and on. Even though Miss Vicky Marie Thompson is already excited about the show. I'm so happy you watch every week, Vicky. That's fantastic. But I can't do it alone. So I am going to bring out my fabulous co-host for the evening. You know her and love her. Let's welcome Skarlet Overkill.
Hello, how are you?
Good. How are you, sis?
I'm doing good. How's everyone watching, enjoying the show so far? Thank you for everyone tuned in.
Yep. Hike up the girls.
Yeah, I know. They're like a little saggy today.
They're going south for the winter.
They are. They realized that it's almost September. They're getting ready to, head down south for the winter.
Isn't that crazy? This summer has gone by so fast.
This year has and you were just talking about with drag, this year has gone so fast, and it's crazy to think that normally that's how fast the year goes because we're constantly working, doing shows, but it's the year still went by fast, and we've barely done any drag.
Oh, completely. Yeah, aside from this show, I have not done any drag at all. And well, that's not true because I did a birthday party this week, but I had to do it over Zoom.
Yeah.
It's a whole different world.
It is.
You've gotten a chance to go out and actually perform.
So I did a brunch the weekend before we did lockdown, quarantine, all that here in Pennsylvania. And then that was March, I want to say 15th, something like that. Since then, I've only done 2 shows, actually in a venue on a stage since March. That's insane.
And how weird was it? I just have to.
It was just so, well, the one at Heat was weird, that was the first one. And then the other one was the Pride show at Stein's. That was outdoors, so that was much more relaxed, more comfortable. Everyone, was spaced apart, and we were on top on the stage. And it was a really good time, but it's just weird not doing 3 shows a week like we're used to doing.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I saw the post go up for the outdoor show, and I instantly got resentful. I was like, no, don't come at other people for trying to do what they love.
Yeah.
But I was really shaking. I was like, you know what? I can't do it right now. If other people can, great. Just please be safe. I know you've been safe about it, and it's just one of those things, like you said, about being resentful. I mean, I remember, I see things pop up here and there, even with the Steins Pride show, and it's yes, drag. I want to do drag, but then it's that when you're at a drag show, everyone wants to come up to you and hug you and do pictures and this and that, and it's you're interacting with all these people that you don't know. Normally that's okay, but with what's going on, it's well, who were you in contact with last? Who did you talk to? Who did you touch last? You know what I mean? And then you just get that in your back of your mind, and it's so it's just all new territory with this. Yeah, it's a different world. Although, of all these new things, there are 3 questions I didn't get to ask you yet. Who, what, where?
Okay. Well, who am I? I am your local clown here in Harrisburg, Miss Skarlet Overkill. What am I wearing? Well, this wig is Amazon, something I just gave a little tease to. Nothing crazy like I normally do. My dress is new. It's all polka dots.
Ooh.
So, arm sleeves. Yeah. Fashion Nova. They were having a sale.
Nice.
So I snapped her up. And then obviously my gym shorts that I'm not wearing underneath here are from Reebok. And and where you can find me, well, right now you can find me on Inside the Drag Closet. I'm going to hope for, I tried some over the summer, but it didn't really work out because, it's summer and we're kind of back to being allowed to go out and do things. But once fall, winter comes and it's cold and snowy, I want to try and start doing with my friends up in Boston some online drag bingos and shows, because that kind of helps me do drag and get some kind of income and stuff. So yeah, hopefully look out for that stuff in the fall and the winter.
Yeah. Like we've been saying before, it's a lot of, reinventing yourself, coming up with new things. I've enjoyed stockpiling ideas.
Yeah.
One thing I haven't done, I've got my sewing machine out, I've got fabric ready, and I'm lazy. So I haven't made anything.
Same. Exactly. I'm I got a new sewing machine last year for Hanukkah. I have some fabrics up there, even though they're cheap, there's something to, practice on. And nope, done nothing yet.
We have a fabulous comment from Robin Thompson. Skarlet, that's a cute dress.
Thanks. Like I said, it's on Fashion Nova. I think with the sale, I got this dress for $25. No joke.
Nice.
Yeah.
We have another comment on your outfit. Fancy Dismount Stratton says she looked like a big old gumball machine.
Yes, you know it.
I love that. And of course, a comment from Inside the Drag Closet. Okay, who the hell is in charge of our Facebook tonight? Come on, CBD. Oh, and another one. Sabrina Antoinette Nightingale. Hi, ladies. You're both gorgeous.
Oh, thanks.
Sabrina, many years ago, competed for Amateur Drag Race in Harrisburg.
Oh, okay.
She was performing under a different name then. She has since transitioned to become the woman she was inside. And yeah, she came in 3rd place, I believe, in season... That was season 1.
Wow.
Oh, and confession, Fancy. It was me. Girl, I don't care who runs it. I trust the 3 of you. Well, Skarlet, are you ready to meet our woo girl who happens to be a boy this week?
Ooh, I'm excited. A boy.
I know. We don't get a lot of boys on this show.
No.
It's always just girls, girls, girls all the time, except for our kings.
Yes.
Our kings were amazing. We want to get more kings on the show. So if there are any drag kings out there who would love to be on Inside the Drag Closet, you can always reach out to us at insidethedragcloset@gmail.com. But without further ado, I give to you Mr. Don Davis. Wait, where'd he go? There he is.
Hey! Hello.
Look at your subtle hair. So, Dawn, I have 3 questions for you.
Yes.
Who, what, and where?
Who, what, and where? Well, I am Don Davis, your boy woo girl for the week. Let's see. I am the president of LGBT Equality Alliance of Chester County. We are the only LGBT nonprofit organization in Chester County. So, yay us. We, amongst a bunch of things that we do, we host Chester County Pride Fest, which we weren't able to do this year, but hopefully we'll be back next year and when things calm down. We were planning on having Ginger Minge as our headliner this year.
Oh.
But we weren't able to get her because, well, weren't able to have Pride Fest, so.
Yeah.
Let's see. So that's who I am. What am I wearing? My shirt, a friend of mine made for me. Her name is Greglin Gibbs. She, fancy, yes. Greglin Gibbs made this shirt for me. We went shopping and we picked out materials at a fabric store up in Reading. And she made this for me in one day. We were going to do pants in this material. Oh, yeah, there we go. In this material too, but we didn't buy enough. So we just got cute sleeves. And my hat is from my new good friend, Afro Lip Gloss Originals. I met Ricky at DragCon last year. We were actually getting ready to leave. And I look over and I see him in this gorgeous blue Afro wig. There we go. There he is.
Oh,
there
wow.
And I said to him, I said, I have to get a picture with you. He said, yeah, of course. And I said, I would totally rock that in purple. He said, well, I can do that. I said, oh, wait a minute. You do the wigs? So he gave me his business card. A couple months later, I got this beautiful creation. Trixie has a couple of wigs from him. Mrs. Kasha Davis has a couple of wigs from him. The Lady Bunny, Sugar Cane. So he's up there. He's out in New York City.
And where can we find you?
Where can we find me? Right there on my Instagram at Don_D_NPG for life. And for those that don't know what NPG is, that is a New Power Generation Prince reference. I am a huge Prince fan. I've been since I was 10 years old, so that's about 10 years.
Same.
Yes, exactly.
We already have some fantastic. Yeah, Don from Gina Tomasetti.
Yes, Gina and baby Regina. Hi.
Ooh, fantastic comment from Fancy. Oh, Lord Jesus, Miss Dawn got bigger hair than both you bitches. You girls should be ashamed. I am.
Oh, yes, Fancy.
And talking about Chester County Pride, Fancy is the current reigning Miss Chester County Pride.
Yes, she is. Yes, she is.
Ooh, Another fun comment about Afro lip gloss. Trixie wore one of his wigs in, I believe, the Yellow Cloud video.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was.
I really had a hard time reading that comment with no punctuation.
Derek?
No punctuation. Sorry, just sending that to my manager downstairs. Oh, and here's another one. Yes. Oh, God, the damn afro.
Well, you knew better, Callie.
So, Dawn, you are a huge fan of drag. I have to ask, if you were to do drag and become a queen yourself, what would you call yourself?
Well, so Miss Fancy, who was with us watching the stream, gave me what would be my drag name.
Oh boy.
It would be the Queen Aubergine. For those that don't know, aubergine is the British term for eggplant. So we have that.
It's got two meanings now.
It's purple, which is, I mean, that's me. I am purple. And then we decided that once, after a year or so of performing in drag, I could change my name to the artist formerly known as Aubergine and use the eggplant symbol as my name to, reference Prince. So it's a multi-layered, name going on there.
I hate both of you. Skarlet, do you have any questions for Dawn?
Oh, I was going to ask you what your favorite color is, but I think it's yellow.
Sometimes.
A nice subtle puce.
Yeah.
Yes.
Fluorescent beige.
No, I get, so that question aside, because it wasn't very serious, you know me. What was do you remember the first drag show you went to and who was performing?
Ooh.
Are we still talking about what we talked about earlier with the first time?
Yes.
That was the first, okay.
Yeah.
Well, my first drag show was my first time in drag.
Oh.
Probably about, I was about 19 or 20, so 5 years ago.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
And it was my drag mother, Brenda Lamore. She was out of Philly at the time. She's in Delaware now. My sister Donna, and I don't think anybody else was there.
Would a picture remind you? Because I have it right here.
Oh. Okay, you
Look
can
at her there.
That can self-destruct.
Girl, you're the one who sent that to me.
The girl all the way on the end, that was my friend Ronnie. Yes, the short one, that's my friend Ronnie. Our friend Beth was with us. Beth is a little shy. She didn't want to be in the picture, so she's taking the picture. I'm wearing Beth's dress. The wig, it was around Halloween time, so we went to a Halloween adventure or whatever and got that mess of a red wig there.
Start somewhere.
Yeah, right. But yeah, the one eating the lollipop on the other side, that's Brenda. That's my drag mother, Brenda Lamore.
Wow.
That's amazing. That is so, I'm going to call you out a little bit. That is so beautifully 80s. Maybe early 90s.
Early 90s, yes.
I mean, I'm a child of the 80s and 90s. I hear you.
So that's the only time you've ever been in drag? Have you not done drag since?
Other than a couple of times at one of Fancy shows, I haven't done drag since then. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Well, I wouldn't necessarily say that, Dawn, because what you were doing tonight, I would definitely consider that drag.
Yeah. Right.
It's fun. It's playful. You're still a guy, but that's, the idea of playing with the idea of gender is kind of what drag is.
Right.
And then
you're having fun. What I did for it when I went to a DragCon last year. It was minus a wig, but you know, I was definitely in some drag.
I remember we ran into each other during that.
Yes, we did. My fabulous purple.
Awesome. So, Skarlet, do you have any other questions for Dawn?
No, not right now.
Okay. He'll be around. Don't worry. We've got
Yes.
Mr. Dawn the entire night.
Yes, you do.
All right. I am trying to do something quickly. But we are going to bring out our first guest. And I'm very excited to have her here. We got the joy of getting to perform with this lovely, lovely lady last year at Franklin County Pride. We had such a good time. I laughed so much with her, and I wanted to have her on the show. So everybody, put your hands together for the beautiful Miss Asia Monroe.
Yay!
Hey everybody, how's it going?
Good.
Asia, could you give us a little who, what, where about you?
Who, what, where? Well, hello everybody. I am Miss Asia Monroe. I am Philadelphia's dancing diva. I'm so honored to be here tonight. And like Jade said, I met these two lovely ladies last year at Franklin County Pride, and it was such an amazing event. And, you know, for people that had never performed together before, it was just such a great mesh of people, and we really got to know one another so quickly. So thank you for having me here tonight. What am I wearing? Well, I don't have that much color on. I have just a nice little simple black dress, you know, and this hair is just, you know, some ponytails sewn together, and my jewelry. It's actually my beauty supply sell these. I get really, like, I do have some like special jewelry I only wear for special occasions, but these are just like clip-ons that my hair store sells, with this bracelet and then this brooch. I made it into a ring. So
Smart.
$9 for the brooch, and I think these were like a pack of 10 for like $6. So
You know, subtle and understated.
okay, yeah. Something subtle for the grocery store, nothing too crazy. And who, what, and where? And I'm in the Philadelphia area. I do travel all over the tri-state and the country. I'm going to Denver next month, so playing it safe though, you know, following all precautions, and thank God it's not a high-risk state right now. I do drag brunch at Vera Cherry Hill. Don's been to one of my brunches, a couple of them, I believe. And you can catch me in the Philadelphia area when we open back up again. Not too sure when that is. I do believe that some of our clubs are doing like curbside drinks and, you know, outdoor sort of things. So, yeah.
Awesome. That is fabulous. We already have some comments for you as well. We've got Gina Tomasetti saying Asia looking gorgeous.
Thank you.
Miss Fancy Dismount Stratton. See, Asia got that big hair game.
Thank you, you know.
We're never gonna let that down, Jade. Ever.
Nope. We're never going to let it down.
The one episode I decided to wear flat hair, everyone else wears fucking big hair. How dare you all? How dare?
And I love this comment. This is a huge shout out to Miss Asia from Dahlia Baker. I'm a big Asia Monroe fan. Pageant is not my first choice of drag, but if Asia's doing it, I'm front row.
Yeah.
My sister Delilah. I met her back when Taboo was still doing Sinful Sundays. And I started drag around the time right before, I think it was that same year, that summer, that's when they moved to former Eye Candy Space. But Delilah has been one of my biggest supporters, and I love her to death. She's such an amazing entertainer, and she really is a good, true sister. So thank you so much, Delilah.
Yes.
So, Dawn, do you have any questions for Miss Asia? I know you've booked her before.
I have booked her. I don't really have any questions for her. I'm Team Asia too. I love Asia. We with LGBT Equality Alliance, when we were doing things, we had tea dances that we hosted in Westchester and Phoenixville. And Asia, I met Asia at one of our tea dances. Actually, I think it was our first was it her first drag show? Might have been her first or second drag show. Asia was there with how am I drawing a blank? Ariel Versace and Chastity St. Cartier. So that's when I got to meet Asia, and I've fallen in love with her since then.
Thank you,
Asia,
Don.
I love watching Asia perform. Yes.
That was a great show, and I told a little behind the scenes inside scoop with that. When I first met Don, that show, that same day I had food poisoning. So I'm thinking to myself, like, oh my God, I never drop out of a show if it's a dire emergency. So I'm like, please just get me through this. I took some medicine. I said a prayer the whole way up there, and I was fine throughout the whole show. So thank you for that. But no, Don is an amazing person.
What I loved about that show when you came, your father was with you, and I love when parents come to the shows with their queens. That was a lot. That was awesome.
Yeah, him and my mom are both my biggest supporters ever since I was younger. No matter what I wanted to do, they always supported it, and I'm forever grateful. I know some people are unfortunately not as lucky enough to have that, so I tried to give that love back to everybody around me. And whenever my dad is able to come to any of my shows or any of my pageants, he doesn't just cheer for me; he cheers for everybody, and he makes sure that that the other entertainers have that proud parently figure there cheering him on for them. So I'm very grateful for that. And my mom, she's unfortunately handicapped, so she can sometimes come to some shows, but even from like online, she like, I just friend requested so and so. I'm like, Mom, you don't know them? She's like, yeah, but I saw her from, like, yeah, you don't know her, but okay. So they're just a big supporters.
That's cute. That's awesome.
That is amazing. I love hearing stories like that because we were talking about it a little while ago. We have friends that have been doing drag for years that their parents don't even know. And like, my heart goes out to them. And when the time is right, they'll find out.
Yeah. I definitely do.
Go ahead.
I do agree with that, and I hear different stories like that as well. And, whenever, like, sometimes, like, when I've done like drag queen story times or different youth events, I always have people, especially, younger people, and, when they want to come up to me and, ask, like, how did you come out? And, how did you start getting into drag? How did other people take it? And, I always say to people, just like how you had to come out to yourself, you have to give time and patience just like you did. And, sometimes if people aren't, so accepting right up front, give them a little time and they'll always come around. And, unfortunately, sometimes, things go left and right, but I always say, just look as a positive thing. You only get one life to live, so do whatever makes you happy.
Yeah, I love that. I remember, speaking of coming out, when I came out to my mother, I was already in my 20s, and I finally got the nerve to say, Mom, I have a boyfriend, and her response was, cool, do you have a job? That was my coming out. I didn't get any drama. I just had my mom roasting my ass. And I love her dearly for it.
Yes.
Now I'm curious. Skarlet, what was your coming out like?
Oh, girl. Well, Asia down here talking about her parents supporting her, she almost got me up in tears. Yeah. Because as you and Don don't know, Jade is aware, but a week ago, it was a week ago, 4 years ago in 2016, my dad passed away. So, and it sucks because he was my biggest supporter. Like, I remember Jade judged me when I competed for Miss Rumors 2016.
And I still judge you now. Yeah.
But I came out in that big peacock outfit, like the whole thing for my talent I made. And my dad sat down there in that basement of my house while I burned all my skin off hot gluing that fucking outfit together. And he watched me. And then he drove me to the pageant and back because he was my DD. I know what it's like to have like parents who are super supportive. So believe me, it just, some days I get in my feelings when I like am doing things with my drag, and I know my dad's still watching, but he's not like here with me physically. Yeah. So it sucks. But I've had, like, my dad anyway has always been supportive of me. My mom at first, when I came out, was not really okay with it because I think it was more so like my mom's side of the family is very conservative and religious, and she was afraid of like what my grandma was going to say and what they were going to think and what kind of drama that was going to cause.
Yeah.
And so she was kind of more so worried for me in the sense of like how the family would react. She wasn't so much like, she wasn't shocked. I mean, as far as my brothers and my parents, they knew I was gay since I was like 12, 10. Like, I just didn't come out until after high school because, again, I went to a school in the middle of a fucking farm with rednecks and hicks. So there's no way I was coming out because I would have been judged my whole high school. So I waited until I graduated, but it was a rough start. But, you know, once the family realized that, like, this is me, this is who I am, like, they kind of just got over it. Well, most of them did. Some still don't talk to me, but whatever, their loss.
Exactly. And that's all you can really think about it. Vicky Marie Thompson, hearts to you, Skarlet Overkill.
Oh, thank you.
So we're going to chat with Don about his coming out story, but, you know, I do want to get to our next guest. Asia, we're definitely going to have you back in just a couple minutes. I'm so excited to pick your brain even more. We're talking a little bit of ballroom, a little bit of break. But Asia, we're going to say goodbye for a minute, but we'll have you back in no time. Mwah. Alrighty. Wow. I was not expecting to talk about coming out stories, but I'm so glad we're on this topic. Because if we can reach one person and make their coming out even easier, that is a goal achieved.
Yes.
But I want to keep the show moving right along. I'm bringing out a dear sister of mine. We have not gotten to perform together in a few years, but I am so happy to see her again. We get ready, everybody. You're about to laugh. You're about to cackle. You're about to have a good time because I'm bringing out Miss KIKI DONDIVA Ninja.
Yes.
Hey, everybody.
Hi.
Hey, Miss KIKI. I got her going already. Girl, your hair matches my outfit.
Oh, yeah, it does.
Yeah, take it.
So, KIKI, give us a little who, what, where.
Oh, KIKI DONDIVA, the performance diva of Pennsylvania. Where am I? In an undisclosed location at KIKI Chateau. You don't need to give all that. Okay. And what am I wearing? Rocks by Cox, the rings, earrings. This is Amazon.
Wait a minute. Are we wearing the same set in different
Shut up,
colors?
are we? No,
we are.
We are. Hold on, I'm trying to move it. Yep, we did.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Y'all was trying to be my twin, girl.
So, girl, since we're on the topic of coming out stories, do you mind sharing your coming out story?
No. All right. It was kind of family drama. My family actually came out to me. Like, yeah, shocking. It was a while back. I was in high school. I was like 18. My friends recorded me doing the Dutty Wine. It was a Jamaican dance, and I bust down to a split. That's actually like the first time my friends see me do a split. So they recorded it, and they posted it on MySpace back then. Ooh. So I guess somebody in my family saw it and sent it around before it got around to my mother. And then my mother came up to me and she was like, I already know you was gay. I was just waiting for you to tell me. I was like, first of all. That was back then. But yeah, that's how my family actually came out to me.
That's kind of amazing, though. As she was just kind of like, I was just waiting.
Yeah, my mother pretty much said she was prepared for me, I guess, if you will. Like, she knew, you know, since I came out, she knew what was up.
Yeah. That's amazing, though. Like,
yeah,
to just kind of be like, game on.
Literally.
This is my fabulous queer little kid. So, Skarlet, do you have any questions for KIKI?
Ooh.
No questions.
Girl, didn't you read what you signed up for?
She's not taking any questions at this time.
I was catfished into this.
Please speak to her journalist, okay? No, I mean, I don't know what to ask because I don't know you. This is our first time meeting, obviously, virtually meeting. So I guess, like, when did you start doing drag, and like, what got you into doing drag?
I went to a show at Stonewall with a couple of my friends. It was Stonewall Moose Lounge in Allentown, PA.
Okay.
They was like, "Oh, Kiki, you know," because they see me do splits at work, so they was like, "Kiki, you could do that." So I was like, "Well, I don't know," and that's where I met my gay mother. Well, my former gay mother. I met her at that club, and introduced myself, and the rest is history. She put me in the night, and yeah, I came in like second place that night. No, actually, I won the first night.
Wow.
Nice. Well, and to tack on to that, I notice you have a rather famous last name.
Do I?
Do you mind explaining that last name? And I'll be back in just a second. Skarlet, I'm leaving this up to you.
Okay.
I've got a small fire in my room.
Oh, Lord.
Okay, well, Jade handles that. Yeah, so her question was, and I'm curious actually too. So your last name, Ninja, she said that's a famous last name?
Yes. I'm the iconic House of Ninja in the ballroom scene. We're actually worldwide. We deal with everything. Runway. It's mainly ballroom, but we deal with different entities outside of ballroom. We had a runway modeling agency by the famous Willie Ninja. I'm sure everybody know who that is, right?
Okay. Yeah.
If you don't, Paris is Burning. You can see a lot of tons of his videos on YouTube. Paris is Burning. What is it? How Do I Look? And a lot of other documentaries about, you know, the ballroom, the gay life. He's definitely on there.
I didn't know that you had that connection, girl. That's amazing. That's so awesome.
Yeah.
And like, so, well, I guess Don, do you have any questions for Kiki?
I don't know if I really have any questions. I just need to learn more about ballroom. What I know about ballroom, I know from Paris is Burning and Pose and some videos that I've seen on YouTube. Until recently, I didn't even know there was a ballroom scene in Philly.
Really?
Yeah, I had no idea.
It's been there for 30 years.
Yeah, I'm just ready to learn more about ballroom, and the fact that you're in the House of Ninja, I'm just like, hey.
Right.
Hey.
Now that I know that and about like, and I'm with Don, like obviously, I mean, everyone I'm sure has seen Paris is Burning at least once, if not multiple times. Like we've all watched Pose. So like, I mean, I have a question in regards of like, since you are in ballroom, like how much of like the ballroom scene that's portrayed in like Pose is like real and like what's like scripted, you know, like, you know what I mean? Does that make sense? Yeah,
no, it makes sense. A lot of it is scripted and a lot of it has happened. It's
okay.
Like the answer, if you get what I mean. I'm gonna take, for instance, the Candy death, the black trans. Remember season 2 when Candy was found dead in the hotel room?
Yes.
That actually happened to Venus Extravaganza.
Yes.
Oh wow.
And they mentioned it in Paris is Burning. See, a lot of that show is they take a lot of information from Paris is Burning.
Okay.
And you know, different people that was actually there back then. So that's how, you know, it's like literally the same, but it's not. They fabricate a little bit, but it's literally.
So it's kind of like they're drawing inspiration from like Paris is Burning in the ballroom back in the 90s, but then they're putting like a TV spin on it as well.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
So you think it's a good representation of ballroom then?
Yes. For back then.
Awesome.
Yes, definitely.
I'm very happy to hear that. Like I love Pose. I am obsessed with the show.
Okay.
I would love to have Dominique Jackson on the show just because I want her to read me for filth.
Yes.
The icon.
But like I'm like, okay, I get that it's a TV show and they have to focus on ratings, but I'm so proud of that show for casting trans women as trans women.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's so cutting edge, and it really shouldn't be.
Yeah.
And like to know that some of these girls do come from that ballroom background is just amazing, and it helps bring that realism to the show.
Mm-hmm.
Granted, none of them were nominated at the Emmys, which is a crime.
Yeah, they was robbed. That was a rob.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't understand it. And we've talked about this before. I think that's a huge injustice to the trans community. But I think it was I'm going to misquote India Moore, but she's like, why are we letting all these cis people judge our worth?
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
I'm like, that's amazing. I love that. That's her mindset.
Yeah.
What was I going to say? So my room is not on fire.
Thank God.
Thank God.
There was a spider web on one of my lights, and it started burning. I was literally sitting here going, that doesn't smell right. What is that coming from? And I looked straight ahead at my light, and I was like, oh, that's smoke. Be right back. So yeah, I handled it because I'm a superhero with really big flammable sleeves. But Kiki, do you have anything else you want to say to everybody before we move on?
No.
She's a woman of few words.
Yeah,
until you get her talking backstage at a show. Alrighty, kids. Well, we are going to take a moment for a brief word from our sponsor. I've never gotten to say that before, but we have a commercial this time. Yay! And when we get back, we are going to have a moment with the fabulous Miss Skarlet Overkill. Ooh. So we will see you all shortly.
Bye.
Hey everybody, this is Ted from Talk with Teddy and WLFE DB Radio Network. Let's talk about this network for a second. It's very unique and it has different shows with different topics that you won't hear anywhere else. First, let's say our shows cover a wide range of topics. Paranormal to horror, skeptical to believers, and all types of variety shows. You won't be disappointed. In fact, we found, not by the limitations of audio, that we have added video casting as well. Do yourself a favor and check out a show or two. The full schedule is lined up on WLFEDBradio.com. In fact, there are past shows as well that you can check out. So remember, WLFEDBradio.com. Now here's a few of the podcast hosts that also carry the WLFE DB Radio brand and shows. Our shows can be heard on Spreaker, Deezer, iHeart, iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, and more. So check out WLFE-DB.com.
WLFE DB Radio.
Oh, hi everyone. Back from commercial. How are we doing? How's everyone feeling tonight? Thank you for everyone who's watching. I hope you enjoyed the commercial break. As Jade said, this is WLFDB Radio that's giving us the opportunity to have our show here every Wednesday night. Now, for our show, I am one of the co-hosts, and for the co-hosts, we each have our own little segment. So my segment kind of talks about makeup, secrets, tips, tricks, things that I find helpful that might help you. So tonight I want to talk about good skincare regimen. So as anyone, especially someone like me who doesn't wear a lot of makeup, you really want a good skincare regimen when you're taking all your makeup off. You know, you're putting creams and lipsticks and powders and all this stuff on your face, but you want to make sure when you're taking off, you're taking good care of your skin, because your skin is it's always going to be there. It's your first barrier. It's what you put all your makeup on, so you don't want it to look dried out, harsh, you know, breakouts, pimples, etc. So I'm going to kind of explain to you guys like a little routine that I do to help my skin looking, to keep my skin looking flawless, because, you know, as a 21-year-old young woman, I need to stay looking beautiful forever. So I do, I use coconut oil actually to take my makeup off with. So what the coconut oil does is it will melt all the makeup off. And then the coconut that is the coconut makes my skin feel so soft and smooth. It really like hydrates my skin, and it just melts all the makeup off. Like all my makeup that's, you know, waterproof, and putting the setting sprays on it to keep it in place, all that coconut oil just melts it. It just drains all away. So after my makeup is all washed off, I have a face wash. Now I use a kale detox, it's called. So it's organic ingredients, and it includes kale, It has, I think I want to say papaya in it. So it's a mix of like fruits and plant-based items. Again, all my stuff is vegan and cruelty-free. And I use this, and what it does is it detox the skin. It kind of opens up those pores. It really like draws out all the dirt and the just nastiness on your face and just gives it a fresh, clean feeling. And then once my pores open, I like to use a nice toner. Now, a lot of people skip toners because they think like, oh, the toner is going to dry your skin out or it's going to make it harsh. That's not true. Toners are full of antioxidants. So, and the antioxidants will help keep your skin looking, you know, fresh, keep it looking young. And then after I do all that, I will do an under eye cream. So I have from Sunday Riley. It's an autocorrect. Now this has like caffeine. I'm not sure what the rest of the ingredients are in it, but I do it under my eyes to help depuff my eyes, get rid of like dark circles, to really like bring my eyes like back, like just pop them out of my face, bring them back to life. And then my last step is I will use a moisturizer. Now I use a milk moisturizer from the company Milk. It's different kinds of milks. There's like nut milks, like almonds, stuff like that. There's milk from cactuses in there. So there's all different kind of milks in there. And then it has some shea butters and some aloe in it. So it really keeps your skin soft and smooth and feeling silky. So that's my skincare regimen that I use and that I do. And it's very important because, again, you know, whether you're, even if you only wear makeup once a week or wearing it every day, you should always have a good skincare regimen. You know, your skin's the first line of defense on your body. So you want to keep it looking young, healthy, the elasticity in it, and just keep it clean.
I love that. We got a fantastic comment based on that. Again, from Sabrina Nightingale, your skin is your canvas. Take care of your canvas and you can create wonderful works of art.
Exactly. And that's, you know, earlier we were talking off camera, we were talking about primers. That's a, you know, good thing too. You know, the primer is the first thing you set down on your face before you put all your makeup on. So you want a good primer as well to really just adhere all the makeup, suck it in, keep it on your face. And it's the same with like cleansers. Then you're taking that all off and you just want your face to feel like fresh and free of all the toxins and dirt.
I've always been so afraid. When my husband and I first got together, this was going on 9 years ago. For Christmas, he gave me a present that afterward he was like, ooh, that kind of might have been insulting, but I didn't take it as that. He got me gift certificates for a skincare facility because there's a reason I sit far back from the camera. I am acne scarred. I had terrible acne when I was young, and I've always been kind of ashamed of it. So I went and got a chemical peel, which for those of you who have never done a chemical peel before, basically you lay in a chair, they wash your face off, they do an alcohol swab first, and I had a bad reaction to the alcohol swab, and the person doing my chemical peel was like, ooh, that hurt. You're not going to like this. But she was amazing. And then basically you gently get salicylic acid put on your face, and it just sits there for 5 minutes. And at first I was like, okay, this isn't bad. And then my face got hot, and then my face burned.
Oh no.
And I was like, this sucks. This really sucks. And then it's washed off. You have to avoid direct sunlight. So I was basically a vampire for a week. I did 3 treatments. First one, not so bad. Second one didn't really hurt, but she accidentally pushed too hard right here, and I had a little bit of a burn there. It didn't last. It didn't leave a scar. It just kind of sucked for a week. The third one hurt.
Oh no.
And I just literally, I was in tears, just gripping the chair going, it's only 5 minutes. It's only 5 minutes of this. And then it was washed off, and I instantly saw a result. I would have done the laser treatment, but it was really expensive and it wasn't really in my budget at the time. Would I do it again? Yes. I've been thinking about it.
I thought of trying like a chemical peel before, but I've never actually talked to anyone who's actually had one done. So I don't know like what it, you know, what all entails and how well it works.
I thought it was great. I definitely recommend it. I I can give you the information of the place I went to because it was right outside of Harrisburg. I'll tell you the lady who did it because she follows me on Facebook and she better be watching. That was for you, Susan. But yeah, you know, it's just, it was worth it, but it hurt.
Wow.
And I was a vampire for 3 weeks. So it happens. Luckily, it was October.
Yeah.
Well, girl, are you ready to bring everybody back?
Yes. Let's have
Wonderful.
a big old Kiki.
Go ahead.
I said, let's have a big old Kiki. Girl.
We're going to have a big old Kiki.
Yes.
So let's bring back our woo girl, Dawn.
Hey. Oh, she got a wig change. Okay.
Oh.
Listen, she came prepared.
We
have the fabulous Asia Monroe.
Hey.
And speaking of wig changes, Miss Kiki DONDIVA Ninja. Alrighty.
Kiki and Dawn came prepared. They got wig changes. I'm surprised Dawn didn't do an outfit change. Okay.
Right.
I was like, nah.
Look at Dawn coming in being all extra.
Yeah.
I mean,
so one thing I wanted to talk about, because it was in the news this week, basically in LA, Eden the Doll, Jocelyn Flawless, and Jasleen White Rose were robbed, beaten, and chased through the streets. And then one of their attackers posted a video of it on social media. We're going to start with Asia. Like, what do you think of this shenanigans?
You know, it was so hard to watch because the sad truth is that it's not uncommon. And, you know, I have so many trans people in my life and, you know, outside of drag, I am very gender fluid, more on the feminine side. So even sometimes, you know, people do think that I am transitioning or I am transgender. And, you know, watching that all unfold, you can truly, what gets me is you can see the God honest fear in their faces, and the fact that human beings can treat other human beings like this. And, you know, and for all those people that, you know, either recorded, watched, or, you know, said something, you know, I always look at it like, what if this was your child? What if this was in your brothers, your sisters, your cousins, someone of your bloodline? How would you feel knowing that this happened to them? And, you know, it's becoming such it has been a very horrible thing that's been happening to our brothers and sisters in the trans community. But, you know, now of course that it's happening more rapidly and more faster, and, you know, people are not afraid to speak out anymore. You know, other members of our community, we need to use our voices and we need to speak up and get justice for the women and the men that haven't, you know, been able to get justice, are no longer here with us. And, you know, anybody around me who is not part of the LGBTQ community, you know, all of my straight friends and family members, they do speak up. And, you know, I'm very happy that, you know, they are like that, and that I know for a fact that they are teaching other people to, you know, use your voice and use your privilege. And, you know, we have to do something about this, because this cannot happen any longer. And you know, with everything that's been going on, you know, there's so much negativity going on right now that everything has to stop. It's just getting way out of control.
Exactly.
Sorry, I just went off there.
It's all good, girl.
But it really infuriates me. You know, unfortunately, you know, I've had girlfriends that this has happened to. You know, I've had my fair encounters of jackasses want to, you know, try stuff. And, you know, I am lucky, and, you know, I know other people that are lucky that have gotten out of situations like this. And the truth is that there are people that do not get out of these situations alive and unharmed. Yeah. So girl
preach.
Exactly.
True.
Kiki, would you like to add to that?
Oh yeah, definitely. Me being a trans woman of color, you know, and it's sad because I basically have to walk around. One, I have to say I'm fortunate that I was able to get my license to carry, and I own a gun. And it's sad because in 2020, that's the first thing I grab instead of my purse or my phone.
Oh.
That's the first thing I'm grabbing is my gun. It's sad. I could fight, don't get me wrong. I can fight. I can protect myself. But ever since I lost a sister back in 2016, Crystal Gotti, she was shot in the head in Baltimore. Her killer was never brought to justice. You know, and it's sad that as a Black trans woman, we go through this. And all trans women, we do go through this. All trans men too. You know, the trans community is really treated like the bottom feeders. We're treated at the bottom. And it's sad.
I will never understand that. You know, there's been so many people attacking Dr. Levine right now because she's a trans woman. She has been doing everything she can to keep us safe. And people are like, well, she went against science and changed her gender. And the whole time, these ignorant people are just misgendering her. And I'm like, no, that has nothing to do with this. She made this and this match.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Don, do you have anything to add?
Like you, I don't understand it. I don't understand, and maybe because I'm more in touch with my feminine side, I don't understand the toxic masculinity that exists in our society, that men have that much of a problem with a trans woman. These three women now in LA, they didn't do anything to these men. They were just waiting for their Uber, and they're beaten just because they're trans. And what do you get from that? What are you getting from beating up a trans woman? What are you getting from throwing a scooter on a person? It doesn't matter whether they're trans, cis. What are you getting out of that? That's another
guys beat up a bunch of women. Do you feel good about that? Like, stupid. Sorry,
right one. That's all. They just need to run into the right one. Let it
I
be.
don't know you.
Who knows?
Yeah.
As you.
Okay.
Damn.
And it's sad. It's sad that, you know, like Kiki said, nowadays, you know, in different circumstances, you know, protection, you know, being safe, that is the first thing you gravitate towards. Like, going someplace, am I going to be safe? Are there people around that, you know, I feel comfortable enough that will say something? You know, it's different. It's different things, and, you know, it's just it's crazy. Oh,
yeah. Skarlet, anything to add?
It is crazy, and it's like sad that it's like 2020. This isn't like 1960s. Like, it's 2020. Like, trans and gay people exist. We have forever and ever. Like, now we're just not hiding anymore. We're out and about. But at the same time, we still shouldn't be afraid to just leave our house, to go to the grocery store, to go get gas, to go meet up with friends. We shouldn't have to, in Kiki's instance, forget my phone, my purse, which is important things, because I need my phone to text or call if I get an emergency. My purse to carry my credit card if I'm going to buy something. Oh no, my gun's first, because who knows who's going to come after me. Like, people shouldn't have to think that way. People shouldn't have to act that way just to leave their house and be who they are and live the life that they want to live. It's not fair. Do you think these white cis straight men leave their house thinking, oh my God, I might get beat up today? No, they go out and they do what they want. They say what they want. They act how they want. And it's all fucking stupid if you ask me. But it's not fair that they get to go out and be themselves and act how they want. And we can't do that same thing without being judged or fear of being beaten and or murdered. Like, it's just not fair. It's not right. We need change. It needs to happen now.
Yeah.
As of July 9th of 2020, 21 transgender and gender nonconforming people have been killed this year.
Wow.
I don't get it. And it's funny, like, as a drag queen, I have a drag Facebook page, and I can't tell you how many messages I get from guys who are like, I'm straight, but you're beautiful. I'm like, I'm a dude. Usually what happens is, you're very beautiful. Right? I get that. You're very beautiful. Thank you. I'm married. Oh, but man, I found him. Thank you. Dick pic. I respond with the biggest, blackest dick I can find.
What?
You
What?
know,
How did you get Dawn's nudes? Wait a minute.
I have Dawn's picture. It's just an eggplant.
Off camera for a minute.
yeah. I'm telling you, dude. People don't really understand like any of my non-performer friends, you know. And I tell them like, oh, look at this message. They're like, yo, you really get these? I'm like, yeah. It's not even in drag, it's out of drag too. It's like, you know, the trade always want to be asking these crazy questions and, you know, sending stuff. And it's like, for instance, you know, usually I have my fingernails, I always have my nails done and I always make sure they're very long. And, you know, guys are always like, oh, I want you to finger me. And I just send a picture of my nails like, you sure about that? Because if you don't have health insurance, you know, I can't help you, or, you know. So it's
no ham, no turkey.
okay.
Just fingering? Ooh, with the nails?
Yeah. I mean, it won't hurt me that much. For you, I don't know. So.
I'm hurting already just thinking about it. Wait a minute.
Ooh.
Asia's out here sending pictures like, are you sure you want these fingers up your ass? Are you sure?
Like, it's just so funny. And, you know, like Jay said, I always have different comebacks for different things. And, you know, I just see where it goes. And sometimes they're like, okay. Sometimes they're really serious. I'm just like, yeah, no, you gotta go.
Well,
What I love best is the fact that.
Go ahead, Jay.
Go ahead, Kiki. You go.
You know I'm gonna make you laugh.
Go for it.
I cannot stand, and I made posts about this and everything, but I cannot stand when they send you a little dick and be proud of it. Like, are you serious?
What am I gonna do with this?
Like, really? Like, this is what we're doing. Okay, but do you?
This is the meme I always have on hand. It says, "Hi, I'm married. I'm pleased to have you as a social media friend. As you browse my pics and view my life from a distance, you will see that I love my spouse and family dearly. I am not seeking an extramarital relationship or a secret friend. My marriage means too much. Please, no flirting, inappropriate inboxes, DMs, or pokes, and we will remain social media friends." Usually that doesn't mean shit to them.
It doesn't. You can say whatever you want and they don't care. And is it just me? I feel like, and I'm not pointing fingers or calling anyone out, but like most of the times I get these like messages. It's from like guys in like Afghanistan and Iran, like all these weird countries. And they're like, you're so beautiful. Will you be my wife? And I'm like, who signed me up for online wife like services? Like what?
Credit.
Aren't you that prince that said you were going to send me money?
Okay.
Yeah.
Cash app.
Hello. All of our tipping information is going to be scrolling below at the end of the show.
Okay, time is money, and money is precious.
Someone is out there on some bride order service, and they're using my pictures, and they need to stop.
Exactly. Oh. Well, that went off the rails pretty quickly. We did get a fabulous question from my darling husband, and I love this question. For the ballroom performers on tonight's panel, which are both of our guests, actually, drag performers will talk your ear off about the positive and negative impacts that RuPaul's Drag Race has had on local drag. Has Pose had any noticeable impacts on the local ballroom scene, either positively or negatively? And I'm going to have Kiki start this one.
I'm going to say it had both negative and positive. Positive, it brought a light to ballroom. Even though there's, like I said, Paris is Burning. They have a new show called Legendary. I don't know if anybody can watch it. It's on HBO Max. Real good show. Definitely, it shows you the current version of ballroom. And how do I look? But that's the positive. It does, brought a light to the ballroom. Negatively, it made people feel like they could walk any ball without respecting the past, present, and future. Like they feel like they could just come to the ball and be like, "Oh, I'm already legendary." No, you gotta respect. Show respect. That's like the real negative it brought to it. I mean, it's for everybody, but you definitely have to show respect.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. Asia, anything to add?
Mm-hmm.
She agreed.
No, I definitely agree. I definitely do agree with what Kiki said. With what Kiki said, and I truly do feel the same way. I do feel with anything you do. And
oh, she's cutting out.
Ooh. Her internet connection has not been great tonight.
Oh.
I'm thinking it was me.
Asia, can you say that again?
There you go.
Oh, you're back.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, we could.
Yep,
Yeah.
we got you.
Now.
Okay. My bad. You know, I paid the bill. Trust me, we paid the bill. But no, like I said, definitely agree. I definitely feel like with any art form and ballroom, they do stress that ballroom is for everybody, but please pay your dues, pay your respects, and respect the ones that have come before you. Do your homework, and that you may not be a part of something like that, or you're working towards something like that, but you have to know who's around you, just like they said in the comment, with just drag and with ballroom, they're different art forms, but yet it's similar in respect of what you can go into with expecting. I'm fairly new to walking in the ballroom scene, but yet I know how I've done my history, I've done my houses, I've talked to people at balls, I've seen things for myself, and it's just all about there. You can be the most fabulous person in the room. You can walk whatever, do whatever, but it's about that personality and who you are as a person that always comes through.
Mm-hmm.
I always say
Amazing.
that feature, yes.
Mm-hmm. Now, Asia, we didn't really get to talk about it earlier, but you are part of a house as well.
Yeah, I recently just joined the House of Prestige. They just reopened up their Philadelphia chapter, and I'm so honored to be a part of it. I've always had a love for ballroom just as much as I love drag. I can't, I can dance. I'm telling you, these Vogue and everything is just so amazing, and so many beautiful different things. So I'm very excited to join, the House of Prestige, and I have so much respect for KIKI for being in the ballroom scene for a good period of time. So I'm just so excited.
That's beautiful. I love that.
Yeah.
And we were talking a little while ago. Don was telling us about his first time doing drag. And Miss Asia sent over a lovely picture.
I said it.
So let's just have an instant reaction. And I'm going to have Asia, just the first thing that comes to mind when you see this picture.
Ooh!
Realness.
That is a woman.
Honey, this was in 2017. I felt like I was the hot shit. I had my little thigh highs on, my titties were out. I thought I beat my face, but we got a little mascara, a little blush, a little something, and that's about it. But it was one of those days where it clicked. It felt right, and I actually had met a good friend of mine, and we became social media acquaintances, and actually that was in June, and in September they messaged me saying there was a show that they were doing, they had an open spot, do you want to do it? And from there it honestly has been it feels like a dream. Like it still feels so surreal. Like it clicks, and you could do so many shows, you could be tired, whatever, but whenever you just step on that stage and just looking good, and it doesn't matter. And that's what I feel like the true art form of drag is doing it for yourself and the love that you feel doing it. It's not about how many followers you have on Instagram. It's not about who you're wearing or who made what or this, that, and the third, or who it's about what you bring to the table.
Exactly.
And just like with these shows that are bringing our culture to mainstream, just like it has the positive aspects, like KIKI said, everybody named Mother wants to do drag, which is not a bad thing, but you have these children that shall not be named that walk into these gigs and you're like, oh, who gonna paint me? Who are you? And it's like, child, know your place, earn your time. And it's like,
know your place, sir.
I never understood. Like, yes, I was a baby queen. Yes, I was eager to learn things. And I always say you're always still learning things throughout your whole drag career or performance career or anything. And it's like, I'll never understand it. And it's like, and it also reflects on that personality coming to the surface. And it's like, I understand closed mouths don't get fed, but don't be greedy.
Well, and I think part of that has to do, we talked about the positives and negatives of Pose. One of the negatives from RuPaul's Drag Race, it's done a great thing for drag, but at the same time, you get all of these young kids doing drag who are just like, hi, this is my first gig, but I already know I'm sickening. And I'm like,
it all.
Who are you? Like, and I always tell younger performers, they're like, how do I get booked in shows? Like, do benefit shows. Like, get your name out, support your community.
Yeah.
One of my dear friends, jumped right into being a show director. And no shade toward her. I'm like, girl, you're good, but you're not a name. Like, you've got to get to know the scene a little bit more and get to know more performers.
Right.
And that's not to say you're untalented. It's just nobody knows who you are yet.
Mm-hmm.
So, since I got to dish it out to Dawn and to Asia, I would like everybody to have their first reaction to this. Come on, picture.
Work, Jade.
What?
You gotta do that.
Jade, that's you?
That is me.
I am like
giving low-key dominatrix.
I told you I started off as a vampire.
She's
I was gonna say, why am I getting like Edward from Twilight right now vibes?
Gothic fish. Welcome to Hot Topic. Yes. I honestly, God, did not know this was you. I thought you was playing for a minute.
No.
Wow.
That was me performing at the Black and White Party back in like 2005, I think.
Wow.
It was a big AIDS fundraiser. And the theme was a circus at Dark and Twisted Circus.
Yes, it was.
And I was the vampire / sideshow barker. That show was twisted too. Like we had I made that outfit too.
Oh wow.
Yes.
Yep. And nobody else sent me their first time in drag, so
Well, I woke up like this. No.
Because you passed out like that.
That picture's exclusive. Ain't nobody get that picture ever again.
No joke. I was trying to get that picture from Randy.
Good luck with it. He don't even have it.
Alrighty. We have a few more comments on here. Let's see. Once again from Miss Sabrina. You are all beautiful human beings and amazing allies. There are days I'm terrified to leave my house, so I'm glad to know there are people like you out there.
Right.
Sabrina recently just got her name changed and got her gender marker changed, so good for you, girl. Here's a fun comment going back a couple conversations. From my lovely husband, I have recently started getting messages from chasers because I'm married to a queen. This is a very new experience for me.
Stop.
I just want to know, what about this is sexy?
Right?
Yeah.
Like, I don't think this is sexy.
It's the wig.
Like, who really wants to have sex with a clown? Other than Skarlet.
You know what? I can't. Look, everybody likes something. So you may think no one likes it, but I'm telling you, they'll like it.
There's something for every. Chlorophilia is being aroused by clowns. Don't ask why I know that. I took a human sexualities class a number of years ago.
my favorite thing is like, you know, when outdoor was open, you know, when it's, you know, at the gig, and, you know, children out, we'd be outside, and, you know, it'd be like Friday, Saturday night. There's groups of like college kids, you know, and just men in general walking by, you know, we're outside having a drink, smoking a cigarette, and they'll walk by and like, oh, Mr. Oh, you so sexy. I'm like, thanks, and they be like, and you know what? There's been a couple times where they've come around the block and would be like, oh, so what you doing after the show? And I'm like, you know, it takes a lot of money to look this good. So what you talking about? But I'm telling you know, and that's the thing too. Is like, you know, my sister, she's a cis woman, and you know, she gets messages. They think, you know, she's trans because she knows me, or you know, she does drag. And they're like, oh, you're so beautiful. And she's like, I think this is someone from your page. And I'm like, well, welcome to the party.
Yep. Now it's interesting. You very nearly quoted the fabulous Miss Dolly Parton just now. She has the quote, "It takes a lot of money to look this cheap," and she made headlines yet again this week. I'm trying to find the exact quote she said.
I sent you
she said, I understand people having to make themselves known and felt seen. And of course, Black Lives Matter. Do we think our little white asses are the only ones that matter? No. And this has caused a firestorm. There was a performer. He's a voice actor and musician. And on Instagram, he posted, I'm paraphrasing a little bit, but basically he called Dolly Parton a freak-tittied old Southern bimbo and a slut who is forsaking her own race, culture, and heritage.
Oh, ma'am, we don't speak about Dolly like that. No, ma'am.
Right? He lost his job. He can't get bookings anymore.
Good.
And he's blaming Dolly Parton for that.
Well, good. You shouldn't fuck with Dolly.
Exactly.
Right. That's what you get for fucking with Dolly.
Yeah. There's a politician doing the same thing. She's just like, you know, Dolly Parton came out for Black Lives Matter. I guess we have to boycott Dolly. And people are like, can you imagine being such a racist bastard that you're trying to boycott Dolly Parton? Fuck off. Asia, anything to add on that?
You know,
Jade.
like you said, like I just, it's just something I can't wrap my head around. Like, you know, being so small-minded, and you know, it's just like, and the best way to describe that is like flipping it around on that person. Like, could you imagine someone said that because you are white? Like, imagine, like flip how outrageous it sounds. Oh, you someone spoke out about something about you being white, so we can't support you anymore. That's bullshit. You know, being someone that is, you know, that's not African American, but you know, supporting it, you know, it's just like, it's just blasphemy. It's like, how do y'all not see this? It's like, you know, we are all human beings, and you know, it's just, oh,
yeah. Skarlet, you sounded like you wanted to add something.
Oh, I sent it in the private chat.
Oh, what? Huh? We have a private chat. There's technology in front of Nana right now, and she's going to try to do the thing. Oh,
I'm scared. I don't know what I just signed up for, but
Skarlet did something fun.
I'm in trouble.
Kiki, do you have anything to add about the Dolly Parton thing?
I love Dolly Parton. Thank you for being an ally. And do you have good credit? That's what I want to know, because I love Dolly Parton. I need to be her friend. I need to be her best friend. I like donations. Right? What's up?
She's one of those people who's so self-aware. And one of my favorite Dolly Parton quotes is she talks about having plastic surgery, and she's like, one more facelift and I'm going to have a beard. That's brilliant. Anything? Oh, sorry.
No, I was gonna add on, like, kind of like everyone else is like saying about the whole Dolly thing, and like, you know, it's nice to see like people to see. I keep saying it, to see the trash taking itself out. You know, like people who are coming out and supporting the Black Lives Matter, trans lives, everything that's going on right now. You know, here in our country, it's nice to see the people who support it, because then that also brings up the people who don't support it, and then we just cancel them. Bye.
Mm-hmm.
It's trash day every day, girl. Like, just get rid of them, because it's like, how can you? I just don't understand how people can be racist. Like, for me to hate someone, you have to like really do me wrong, like you know, hurt me, lie to me, cheat on me, whatever. Like, you have to do something to really make me angry and upset with you to dislike you. I'm not simply going to dislike you because your skin color is different than mine. Like, what? Like, why is that? Like, how? Like, I don't understand how people use that as a determining factor to dislike somebody.
So, someone I know, I'm going to tell a quick story, and I'm going to try to keep it super vague, but they'll know who I'm talking about. A friend of mine was on the phone recently doing a business call, and at the end of this business call, the person on the other side of the phone was like, "So, am I calling a Trump-supporting business?" And he was like, "Well, yeah. Yeah, why?" He's like, "Oh, good. Black Lives Matter, but not that much." Who has the audacity to end a phone call with something so disgusting?
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, man. No ham, no turkey.
The audacity of someone to do that.
Exactly.
Don, anything to add?
It's America.
America. Nothing to add, but I see Ted's comment, and I agree with him 100%.
Yeah.
Yes. Right there.
One race is the human race.
Yeah.
One race. That's it.
Yep.
But y'all better leave Dolly alone. Stop fucking with Dolly. Dolly is a national treasure.
She is, god damn it.
Leave her alone. Leave Dolly alone.
So speaking of national treasures, I want to know what everybody's reaction is.
I'm not
to
looking.
this picture.
Okay, Miss Thing got the sequin dress on. She said she's ready.
Yeah, she must.
Ariel got some legs, and she said, "I'm throwing on my dress, and we are out."
I'm
She
loving
just
those
hasn't
lips,
figured
though.
out human makeup yet.
Those lips are cute, though.
Oh, girl, you lying.
Yes.
That was my first time ever performing, and that was a month before I competed. What was that pageant I competed in that you judged me, Jade? Tell me something.
Newcomer?
Yeah. So yeah, that was the first time I ever was in drag. Out, did a show, and yeah, I just had my Walmart makeup, and I was like, I am feeling myself in my sequin dress.
I am so proud of you for sharing that, because like we all came from somewhere.
Yeah.
You know, and that was, what was her name back then?
Oh, we don't say that, but it was Ariana Divine back then.
Oh no, there was another last name first.
Oh, wait, you're right.
Ariana Cuntington.
Oh my god, yeah, you're so bad.
Huntington. Oh, that's right.
I don't even know where that came from.
Huntington.
I am going to post this hateful comment from my husband. Skeletor is giving some fish in that picture.
That was bad.
Oh my god.
That was so hateful.
Derek, the library was closed. Did you not get the memo? Library is no longer open.
Oh my god. Oh,
I need some wine after that. Ooh.
Try not to laugh.
As a child of the 80s, I loved He-Man. He-Man turned me gay. No, it wasn't He-Man. It was Ewan McGregor. We had this conversation a couple weeks ago. Yep.
Yeah.
So at this point, if anybody who is watching has any questions for us, please feel free to send them in, because we're just going to be chatting for a little while longer. We are having such a good time. We did like get some fantastic comments, you know, OMG, this is everything. I love the topics from, oh, Vanessa, I'm about to butcher your last name. Vanessa Navarez. Okay, maybe I didn't butcher the last name. I thought I would. Sabrina once again says, Jade did my makeup first time in drag. I was a booger, LOL.
Aww.
She's not wrong. other comments. Ooh, there were a few for Kiki. Where'd they go?
Oh, don't do that. Don't do that.
No, it's just hey, sis, Kiki, the Queen DONDIVA from Anthony Rosario.
Oh, hey, bro. I love you.
Girl, I'm not gonna. Let's get the dirty ones for Kiki. Okay.
Oh yeah, Jade. They said you missed my questions. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Okay, before the show, Kiki promised me that her friends were gonna get on here and like ask inappropriate things, and it's not happened. So
how
gotta
dare
scroll all the way up like an hour later.
We actually got a good question from one of our Woo girls, Gabby. Asia, what setting powder do you use?
I use a lot of powder. It's really bad. So once I do like my foundation and my, my liquid highlight, I set everything with Cody Airspun.
Yes.
And I dust it off, looking like Casper. And then I go back into the non-highlighted spaces with like a powder that matches my skin complexion to give like some warmth. And then, contour and everything. And then I use a neutral and natural translucent powder. I don't know, if whichever they use, natural or neutral, which is like translucent powder, but it's not white translucent powder. And then when I do my eyeshadow, I put the white on my highlighted areas. And then I just set it with setting spray and hairspray. And that's it. And my makeup don't move. I could do 2-3 dance numbers. I could be out in the heat. I could just be a hot ass mess. And, my makeup stays.
That's fabulous. We've seen the hot ass mess pictures.
Yes.
I remember running into Asia at DragCon this year, and I died because her and Volky Versace were together, looking sickening, looking fabulous, wearing sneakers under their gowns.
Fun fact.
Go ahead.
I was so happy, because I wasn't expecting to see anyone that I knew there. Of course, there's some people I knew, but seeing all my out-of-state I'm okay. All my sisters, it was so good. And if you've been to DragCon, you know that when you first like walk in, there's a lot of cameras and people taking pictures like immediately. I had forgot my drag undergarments, my jewelry, and my heels in a plastic bag back at the Airbnb. So I'm walking in there having like a whole fit looking crazy. And then Volky's just yelling, Asia smile, Asia smile, Asia smile. DragCon was fun.
DragCon was a lot. Like I made the mistake of wearing heels, which was stupid because it was all pavement. Like next year, I want to wear a nice long gown and wear comfortable shoes. I even wore like short heels, and I was like, that was dumb. And the place was packed. We went to DragCon in New York, and I ended up hanging out with the incredible Megan Thomas all day. Me, her, and her husband at one point just sat on the ground. I was in this beautiful, like, spacey fabric gown, sitting on the ground with no shoes on, just comfortable as hell.
Drag.
Because I was exhausted. Here's a fabulous question, again from Sabrina. I find this interesting. You talked about the ballroom scene. As a baby trans who doesn't have any knowledge except from Pose, how do you feel about trans performers in a drag show? Or do you feel that trans performers should stick to the ballroom scene? As a previous performer, I would love to get back into performing, but not sure where to go. Kiki, we'll start with you.
Well, I was battling with that even now. Because, me being a trans woman and the word drag is like offensive to me sometimes because I'm not a drag. I live my life 24/7 as a woman, so I adapted the ideal of I do what the fuck I want to do. I'm done having people dictate what a trans woman should do when you don't walk in my shoes. I refuse to do that anymore. So I will compete in a pageant soon, if, a trans woman can. I will do shows, and I will consider myself a showgirl. I adapted that name. I'm not a drag performer. I'm a showgirl. I'm a performer. I'm not a drag queen. I'm a performer, and I'm a still perform because that's something that I love to do. I never forget where I came from. If it wasn't for this person, I probably wouldn't be here today.
Yeah.
I will never disrespect that art form. I love that art form, and it's me. I love to perform.
You're an entertainer, girl, and at the end of the day,
Right.
whether it's trans, ballroom, drag, whatever, we're all entertainers.
Exactly.
A couple weeks ago, we had Eva Angelica Stratton on the show, who is also a trans woman, and she said she is still a drag queen. The only issue she has is the term, or was it Eva that said that? I don't remember. I've had a lot of soda tonight. But basically, the only thing that gets to her is the term female impersonator, because she is female.
Cool.
And so she's like, we need to stop using that term because drag queen is something completely different than female impersonator.
Because not all, like, going off of that, not all drag is like film impersonation. I mean, I know I'm a real woman, but I mean,
yeah, these are real.
Right?
Mine are growing.
This is what a female looks like, right? All up in here.
Skarlet's never actually seen a woman before, so
I'm basing off of like characters in my head, It's a long quarantine.
Yep. Bozo the Clown,
Yeah.
Ronald McDonald,
Mm-hmm.
Her drag inspirations.
Yes.
Ooh, this is a good question. I'm actually going to throw this one to Dawn first.
Ooh.
What will it take for each of you individually to feel comfortable doing shows in physical venues again?
And actually, that's something that I've been in conversation with in the venues that I hold shows. One of them being the Colonial Theater in Phoenixville, and just how to space people out so that everybody can get in there, have a good time, but still be distant. I know some places in like movie theaters, they'll put like 3 or 4 seats between a group of people and then 2 or 3 rows between people. So if that's what we got to do, that's what we got to do, but we need to get back out.
Yeah.
Skarlet?
I mean, I'll have to kind of agree with what Dawn, like if we're talking like getting back into shows, say, I don't know, next week or something like that, obviously we need to, socially distance, keep the seating, apart, keep the amount of people in the venues down, wear masks if applicable, like do the things we need to do to keep everyone safe but still have a drag show. If we're talking now, in the future, maybe say like next year, hopefully, fingers crossed, there's some kind of like vaccine or something, or life kind of goes back to normal, and we can go back to just like all flooding into a venue and just all celebrating and doing drag again. But for now, we just need to be safe about it.
Right.
Exactly. I posted on my social media that I won't be performing in venues until next year. Now, if we find a cure or a vaccine, that'd be great. I do miss performing, but I'm not planning to do so until it's safe. I've already gotten tested once. I don't want to do it again. So yeah, I'm just taking my time, and we will see.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I'm scared. No, no. As soon as I could do my split, it's a wrap. I'm performing anywhere. But I will say that period. I need to perform. I love to perform. But I would say if you feel sick, keep your ass home. Wear masks. Nobody has time for that. Like nobody wants this disease. Like seriously, if you feel sick, stay home.
Yeah.
Wear a mask. I mean, don't, if you feel sick, stay at home. But if you don't, wear a mask. Come to the show and tip us. But other than that,
Or get a face shield.
Yeah, or face shield.
Yeah.
So you don't mess up your makeup with the mask. Your turn,
Asia, anything to add?
I mean, in the last month and this month, I've been blessed, I have been able to step back out, performing in actual venues. Now, a couple things is, one, I wasn't going to do it if I didn't feel safe. 2, yes, I am that lady that carries around a whole can of Lysol in her pocketbook and sprays every surface that I see. And if you don't like it, well, there's the door. You can go outside. How's that? And, like you said, there are, now is the time where closed mouths don't get fed. If you feel like you're not going to be safe, say something like, like KIKI said, if you don't feel well, obviously stay home.
Yeah.
If you brought up in a past event and my upcoming events, there are some venues where it's like, if you perform, well, everything's outside most of all, because obviously we don't have indoor anything right now, which I'm okay with. I'm perfectly okay with. Outside, if they do have masks on, we can go out through the crowd and, have a face shield. If they don't, there was a venue where they didn't have face masks on, but they were separated. We had a little, like a little stage that we had to stay on, that we could not leave. And then when we went inside to the dressing room, we had to wear our masks. And, a lot of people that are non-performers are other performers. If you don't feel comfortable, performing, that's your choice. And, just like I'm making my choice and being safe and performing, do not shade me, because, everyone has to make a living at the end of the day. Yeah. I'm not kidding you for not stepping out. Don't shade me for doing what I got to do to, make my money and, get up on that stage and twirl. Yeah. And, it's one of those love-hate things. Like, yes, I do love, performing and being out and seeing all, the good Judys and everything. But yet, in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, oh my God, like, did they wash their hands? Oh my God, like, are you too close to me? I was at Target the other day. I was getting something, and this man was in the aisle. He sneezed, like, I'm telling you, he was almost like right next to me. I turned around so fast. If you don't get your ass away from me, and he had the nerve to look at me like I was cockeyed, and I was like, I took the hand sanitizer, I just lathered myself in front of him, and he, felt uncomfortable, so he left, and I was just like, well, that's it. Like, it's just about common courtesy and safety. So I know I went off and rambled a little bit, but yeah, that's just my little 2 cents.
That's all right. And Derek brought up a good point. Lysol as a setting spray.
Yes.
I'm telling you, as a Miss COVID-19 at large, I was thinking to myself, what if I made a Lysol gown? Hear me out. I'm talking fully beaded Lysol gown, and yet I step out of a hazmat suit.
Ah!
Pageantry, okay?
Yeah.
Tens across the board.
If you're a designer out there and you can find me some Lysol fabric, I will pay. We can talk, okay?
On God, he puts on God everything.
She's gonna get a sponsorship for that.
Okay. Yes.
Well, kids, we have reached the end of our evening, but I would like to ask for just a kind of final thoughts from everyone. We're going to start with KIKI. Any last words you have for everyone watching?
I love everybody. Stay safe and be respectful of everyone.
Perfect. Asia?
I just want to thank you all so much for tuning in. Thank you for having me. And thank you to my lovely host, Woo Girl, KIKI. I loved hearing everybody talk about everything, and to all the viewers, stay safe, be well, and eat some good food. Have a good night.
Fabulous. Dawn?
Swan, thank you for having me. I had a great time. Love meeting KIKI, albeit virtually. We got to meet in person so I can get into the ballroom scene, see what's going on.
Really?
Seeing my Asia and Skarlet. Everybody else that was here, thank you for stopping in. Good seeing some friends of mine leave some comments. And yeah, just everybody stay safe, wear your masks, wash your hands, and all that good stuff.
Perfect. Skarlet?
Yes. Well, first off, KIKI, it was great to meet you. Hopefully, once Corona is over, we can work together. Same with Dawn and Asia. Good to see you both again. Hopefully we can work together soon. And wash your hands, wear your masks. Black Lives Matter and Trans Lives Matter.
Boom.
Yes.
Yeah.
Same thing. I want to thank everybody for tuning in this week. Make sure you're tuning in every week here on WLFE-DB Radio. Next week, we are having a back-to-school special.
Ooh.
Anastasia will be my co-host. We are going to have our fabulous woo girl, Lauren, who is frequently our stage kitten for our show, Risque Cabaret in Harrisburg. And we have the fabulous Miss Callie Couture from Lansdale, as well as Miss Aurora Borealis. And the reason we are having a back-to-school special is because all of our guests are educators that do drag.
Yay.
I'm very excited. Make sure you tune in next week at 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But until then, good night, kids.
Bye.
Thank you for joining us here at Inside the Drag Closet with Jade and her fabulous team and special guests. See you next Wednesday at 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on WLFE-DB.com.